be a better friend to yourself, be more committed to yourself, forgive yourself for the bad mistakes, and know that there's an opportunity to redeem yourself and create something new, even in the craziest failure. Give yourself a chance and enjoy doing it.
It's never too late. A lot of people think they don't have enough time. A lot of people think they're running out of time. A lot of people think there's not enough time. No matter where you are in life, it's never too late to give yourself a chance. What's going on? My name is Min, and this is the Give Yourself a Chance podcast with Sosi.
What's up, y'all? And who's our guest today?
My guest today is my best friend, Carlos Velasquez.
Hey, I thought I was your best friend.
I'll tell you now, Carlos Velasquez, man. Carlos Velasquez is my best friend. I fight that to the day I die.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Heck yeah. Well, we're going to try to let people know us a little bit better. So we'll start off with our favorites. Man, what's one of your favorite things you got going today?
The favorite thing I have going on right now is
one of your favorite things. Not
favorite thing.
Yeah, so is it that caramel thing?
Oh, my favorite food. My bad. My favorite thing is sweets. My wife found out and eat donuts every time I get here, as you can tell. If I wear white t-shirts to hide the chunkiness. So today, I'm eating a cracker. It's something that's sweet, something that tastes good, but I think it's a healthy balance because eating another donut, I think, would put me to sleep. And that's why I got to do this hour to right now. Because for some reason, when carbs get in my blood, it just knocks me out. And so,
love it. Oh, nice. Good, man. Today's mezcal taste for me is going to be a varietal Papalomato. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've never actually ever pronounced correctly, but this thing is super beautiful. I'm part of a mezcal club, and we get little samplers sent to us, craft mezcaleros. And so today I'm going to be sipping on a very unique type of varietal mezcal, and I'm so excited to enjoy it here with the conversation with you. Do you want some?
No. I was just going to say, where's it from? But because there's only a couple of states, right, that allow mezcal to be produced, or...
Yeah, the understanding I have, right, is like the difference between tequila and mezcal is that all tequila is mezcal.
Yes.
But not all mezcal is tequila, right? Because tequila does have that region that has to be from Jalisco, but mezcal can be throughout all of...
Oh, okay.
Really. But it does typically get made more so in one area from what I've been told. This one is from...
Oaxaca.
No, this one is from San Luis, Atoyitía, Cantepec, Puebla. So it's crazy city, probably in Oaxaca. No one knows about. And the mezcalero there just created this thing and shared it with the club.
Yeah, I every time I go, to a restaurant or something, it seems like mezcal is becoming more and more popular.
Yeah, 100%. I'm really excited about it. I've been getting more and more options when I go out now. What's one of your favorite things? People get to know you a little better.
One of my favorite things is just, to do or eat, whatever. Well, obviously Mexican food, and I just, me now that, I'm a little bit older, just like, I love to hang out with my family. Family,
yeah,
to me is important. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
And what's your family made up of? So I have my wife, and I have an older son, 31, and a younger son, 9 years old, and 2 grandchildren. So I'm 51 years old, and I have 2 grandchildren.
Dang, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Why the hell should anybody care about what you're going to say next? Why should people listen to you?
Well,
Don't be in the hobble right now.
No. I mean, men we were just thinking before the podcast started, and I feel like I've lived, quite a bit. I've experienced a lot of things in life and business and in life in general. I always try to help my friends and family whenever I can offer a good piece of advice, and I try to give it to them. And I keep learning. I mean, we were always learning. You're always living. And, there's experiences sometimes in situations that pop up in your life and problems that occur. And I look at things and problems in a way that, I ask myself at the end of it, when I get resolved, I say, what do I learn from this? And so that way, take precaution or look out for to try to avoid it happening again. So I think that's what I would say.
I love that. Brag about your friend a little bit, dude. Brag. What would you brag about? What are his accomplishments, successes? Why should people really listen up right now? You should listen to Carlos because he is a testimony of someone who bounced back when he had no support, no help, no mentor. This guy's a stone cold entrepreneur who doesn't have help from other people, and he came back, and he's been able to share his life experiences so that other around him can get better. A lot of great entrepreneurs have help, and here Carlos' story, he had no help. When he went down the ship, he was so low, and I'm where I'm at today because he was there carrying me through the times I want to give up on my marriage, or my business. One, give up on my business, wanted to get a regular job. I wanted to give up so many times because hear his stories, really impact and change my life, fighting and pushing through. And I watched Carlos, he did it with nobody. Need in house, ice in your veins because every person just wants to give up when you get kicked out and you're down to get back up again without anyone else. It's a hard feat.
Carlos, it's Bam Bam. I don't know about this. Well, I didn't really. What did you lose? When did you lose it? Going back to
Little Mexican maggots. That was big. That was Jordan Lopez was on the cover of the
But going back to, I mean, ever since I was a little kid, I mean, I just tell you a quick rundown, but I always tried to be structured. I always felt like, I wanted to learn at a fast pace and so I would go to school and I remember I was telling the story to somebody the other day. I said, like, a kid would ask, I think another kid in the class would ask the teacher, hey, well, can you explain that again? And I'd be like, why couldn't you don't get it? Like, come on, like, let's get through this. And I still don't get it. So, I always was motivated to succeed. And I just had a meeting a little while when I was talking with, I come from a real estate background and right before I got into real estate, actually, I was just down the street from me here and I used to work as a welder and I got into real estate and I started doing full time and things started going so well that I said, you know what, I want to open my own franchise. And so I started at Salvador. I was only like 25, 26 at the time. You actually need a welder to real estate to it. Yeah, it's just, I got a license in 96 and so I was 25, at the time. And a couple years later, I'm like, you know what, I want to set a truly franchise. I just want to have a name brand office. And after being a real estate for a couple of years, I was very successful and stuff. And I said, I want to have my own franchise. So I bought a franchise and had a real estate office and things were moved and stuff. And, it's that saying, like it happens, to everybody, to sports athletes and everything. It's like, I was making the money, but I just didn't want to manage it. So, just like a lot of people in the industry lost almost everything. I mean, I have a beautiful home. It came down to the wire. I was within like 15 minutes of losing my home. And I was just there, just trying to, struggle and trying to, get through everything. And it was just difficult. So people say, my house and modify it just like a lot of people did back then. And then I just started learning more and I just said, no, I gotta learn all these things and, I gotta educate myself and I gotta do things so that way it doesn't happen anymore. And I was just very scarred for a long time. I mean, it really scarred me for a long time. I think everyone like that, I think I was still scarred. And we met like 5 years, 6 years ago. And I told him, I said, you know what, that just made a huge impact in my life. I learned a lot from it. I saw a lot of other people, lose everything. I mean, people that were worth millions and millions of dollars to go on the food stamp. And it was just really hard. So, that was one of the things that I guess I learned that recession. But but I tried to be, I try to do the right thing now and, and I'm not sure if we go singing mistakes and I keep trying to grow and push myself through the process of picking yourself. I just had to do it. I mean, I remember just being there. And when you get to a point where you just get you would get into a dark place and telling myself, nothing's going to happen. Being it, I just got to get up. And even today, I mean, when all women's half fam and challenges, come my way, I mean, there's no other way but to get up and just get up for do what you got to do, because just by being there and being curled up in a font of like a community.
I know you that's sort of before I think what myself would encourage me, and I think what will for you, like when you were hit, like it is like when it was athletes. And I think the CEO we essentially lives down the street. That's how big time it is. To live in this big old house by yourself, and people won't come visit you more, and then no one stay with you. How did you get through those dark times? Like, what did you read books? Did you look in the mirror, encourage yourself? What did you do to pick yourself up? Because when you lose it all, like the shadows get bigger and they engulf you. Like, how
your demons come out.
Yeah, how did you overcome that?
You know what? That's a great question because, I'm not a reader. And I would tell myself, I think the number one thing that's on my notepad, on my remarkable notepad, the very first thing that's at the very top when I first got it, is to read books. I just can't seem to get into books. But I'm very into motivational quotes, such like everybody I would listen to, I forget motivational books, and sometimes I film into my friends, with family, and just being inspired, and, it's a mindset, and just the other day I was telling myself, I come down on myself, and I'm hard on myself, and then I tell myself, it can't be like that, and let's snap out of it. Snap out of it, and start thinking positive thoughts, start thinking about all the good things in your life, be grateful for what you have. You gotta be your cheerleader. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I mean, once I realized, who our friends were, and I started to kind of block people out of my life, that's when things started to improve for myself. So, I mean, there's times when I have, friends, and they're still my friends, and one of my friends recently passed away. I hadn't seen and talked to him in several years, but he was somebody that was like, he was kind of ashamed because he was somebody that everybody knew and everybody liked. And me personally, him and I were really tight. But, you know, when things started to change and evolve in our lives, I went way and he went the other. And I started to form my family and everything. And I hadn't talked to him. And then I heard that he had passed away. And I was like really surprised that not some more friends that we knew for the past had gone to his funeral.
Yeah.
And then his family invited me back to their house after the funeral. And I was like the only friend from everybody that knew that was there. And like, it just kind of made a new back to me. And
Yeah. Just because I don't think listeners know, right? I don't know. What businesses do you have, right? Like where is Carlos today, right? We lost everything 13, 15 years ago. What is your everything now? You know, tell us your net worth.
No, just my whole thing is just all real estate related. I mean, basically real estate and mortgage lending, but basically an operation where loan officers join us, and I oversee the operation and make sure that people are able to get their loans funded and help their clients, you know.
So do you have a real estate brokerage and a mortgage?
No, I don't. I never actually, even though I had a C21 off, I never became a broker. So now I don't like doing, me personally,
Yeah.
I don't like doing real estate as the lending side of it, because I like to be like, you know, behind the desk, behind the computer. Yeah. You know, when you're doing real estate, I mean, there's so many people. I mean, I love watching the shows like The Sunset and Selling Sunset, and the other one, Oppenheimer, but what is it? What's the biggest one? No, yeah, no, is it with all those guys? And they talk about like, okay, just over a couple phone calls and stuff. I mean, that would be ideal for me, you know. But I mean, that'd be my perfect role right there, because I mean, those guys, you know, make it look so easy. But for sure, it's not that easy. But now, you know, I'm there talking to people. I mean, the people that I talk to are the people that have scenarios, or hey, Carlos, with your experience, can you talk to me about how I can structure this deal, or what can we do? Or sometimes, you know, I sit down and I like to brainstorm and think about ideas on making deals happen. Like sometimes the clients, but the loan officers will come to me and say, hey, you know what? This client doesn't qualify. I got this loan from somebody else, and now it's in a rush because they've been in escrow for 2 weeks and we don't know what to do. And the buyer's going to lose their deposit. And then, okay, well, let me take a quick look at it. And sometimes, you know, just like simple things like, okay, well, you know what? Have them pay off this account or bring down the balance to this. It's going to eliminate this payment or whatever. And then, you know, we make it work somehow. But that comes with experience and knowledge here.
Yeah.
But that's what I like doing. But in regards to your question, there was a time that I got into other projects only because I had the money and everything.
Yeah.
But it deviated and it kind of steered me away from what I was, you know, good at.
Yeah.
And by doing that, I think it really screwed me up.
Yeah.
And so now I stick to what I know. I mean, yeah, sure, I want to get into other things, absolutely. But, you know, I need to take care of, pay the bills.
Yeah, when you're looking at losing it all, early 30s, reinventing yourself, learning how to hyper-focus so you can hit your success, right? Which I think is super valuable. That's one of the best key advice I've ever had. When you're looking at that person, that Carlos, what would you go back and help create a pathway for? Like, what would you tell that Carlos? Focus on this and do it this way, and it's going to be the fastest way to success. Because I'm sure that Carlos did a bunch of trial and error, right? Like, what would you tell him to focus on, and how would you tell him to do what he's trying to get that?
What I would say is just, you know, just stay focused, you know, come up with a plan, a solid plan. I was watching your post, man, talking about people in their business plans for 2023, you know, and try to be realistic with that plan and stick to it. You know, every time I sit down, I don't do this often either, but when I do, and I create a small plan and I write down my goals, I look at it like 6 months down the road or like, oh my God, I did accomplish that. And the thing is that that's what I would do. I mean, I would stick to your plan, you know, and not try to overthink things. And what was hard for me on the comeback was the fact that, you know, I had, excuse my language, I heard them cuss a little while ago for it. When I realized I had fucked up and I was going through all this shit, you know, I told myself, you know what, I gotta get out of this. I spent, you know, on my comeback, you kind of have to go through fixing all the stuff that's dragging out for the past, you know, the bad credit, all this stuff, you know. So it took me a little while to overcome that. And as I mentioned earlier, I was really scarred by what happened, and it affected me in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously financially and mental, you know, and emotionally. It affected me. So yeah, once I overcame the fear, once I overcame all those negative thoughts, is when I really started to vamp up again. But you see, I see oh man, he's involved in so much, and now I see him compared to the men I first met. He's in control of everything.
Yeah, it's great.
He's in control of his whole future, his whole life, everything. He's so much happier and everything. I mean, he's the man right now.
Heck yeah. Well, let's finish with some rapid fire questions for you. I'll go first in your head. Carlos, is tacos or burrito?
And you gotta go fast. Okay, Doc. Okay, it's like Dr. Rios. No, for him, ask the question.
Because you already have the rapid fire. I think it's called those burrito. I was like fighting in my head. Dr. Rios.
Hicks tacos.
And stop. Got it.
Rapid question. What's your favorite right now?
Who do you love more, your son or your wife?
Man, come on. This different type of love, both.
Love it. Would you rather have diarrhea for life or vomiting for life?
Diarrhea. Why? Because you can deal with diarrhea when you bother me. Just after a while, it gets hair starts hurting your ribs. You know.
Would you rather have a high metabolism, eat whatever you want, but have a small dick, or have a big dick, but you bite into something, you gain weight?
Big dick.
All right.
I didn't know it was like this. I mean, I would have been talking all kinds of shit earlier.
What if you got one superpower? What would it be?
Lie. Probably. Why? I would just get up there and just, when you said Superbad, when obviously the first thing I came to mind, my favorite superhero is Superman. So what does he do with that? He was out there flying,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I would love to fly.
Love it. Well, flying or true fishing. Man, kill us, dude. Then shut off.
If you can.
So that'd be a good one, dude.
Oh, the celebrity goes. If you can take over a celebrity's life, which celebrity would you be and why?
That's a good one here. I like that.
That is a good one. And this is supposed to be rapid fire, but I mean, it's a celebrity. It's either a singer or an actor, but shit. I'm saying The Rock.
That's an important out.
Yeah. I would say The Rock, because or like somebody just like we watched a movie yesterday, George Clooney. I saw it with his net worth, and I'm like, I didn't realize his net worth was out so much. Coming from that show, what was it called that we done? That he was on that ER something. Yeah, but The Rock. I mean, just because it's involved in so many things, I think he really has a great mindset, and he's focused, and he's a good role model.
Yeah. I love The Rock. That's awesome. All right. Well, that is a show to kind of finish off here, guys, especially thinking about today's information. And I'll hold this in because if not, it's going to fall over. Yeah. I hope you guys all heard it here really, really clearly. Be a better friend to yourself. Be more committed to yourself. Forgive yourself for the bad mistake and know that there's an opportunity to redeem yourself and create something new, even in the craziest failure. Give yourself a chance and enjoy doing it.
Cool.
It was done.
Yeah.